Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Savitri Mataji. Savitri Mataji is a very senior disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and she is currently living in Mayapur. And we are very fortunate to have her on the call today to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, verse number 22. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. We are very happy to have you on the call. You can please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you are not audible. You are on mute, Mataji.
Is it now audible?
Yes.
Now
it's
working? Oh. So, Hare Krishna everyone, Hare Krishna all the devotees. My name is Savitri Devi Dasi. Thank you for inviting me for the class. Yes, I live in Sridham, Mayapur. And also Devi Mataji also lives here.
Yes, Mataji, yeah.
So it's my good fortune. Thank you, Hare Krishna, to be here. So we are now going to read a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Bol, Shri Devi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances to you, Savitri Mataji. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj ki jai. All glories
to Candramauli Maharaj ki jai. All glories to all disciples of Candramauli Maharaj.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
My humble obeisances.
So, we're going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, from first canto, chapter 16. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagdajatam Sagana Raghunatam Nitam Tam Sajeev Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Nitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are now going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, text number 22. Kim Kshatrabandhu Kim Kshatrabandhun Kalinoposrishtam Rashtrani Bhataira Varopitani Itastato Vasanapanavasa Smana Vyavaya Unmukha Jivalokam King Kshatrabandhun Kalinapashishtan Rashtrani Bhatairava Ropitani Itastato Vashana Panavasa Snana Vyavayan Milka Jivalokam. Synonyms: Kim, whether; Kshatrabandhun, the unworthy administrators; Kalina, by the influence of the age of Kali; Upasrishtan, bewildered; Rashtrani, state affairs; Ba, or Tai, by them; Avaropitani, put into disorder; Ita, here; Tata, there; Pa, or; Ashana, accepting foodstuff; Pana, drink; Vasa, residence; Snana, bath; Vyavaya, sexual intercourse; Unmukha, inclined; Jivalokan, human society. Translation in purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc. And they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? Purport. There are some necessities of life on a par with those of the lower animals, and they are eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. These bodily demands are for both the human beings and the animals. But the human being has to fulfill such desires not like animals, but like a human being. A dog can mate with a bitch before the public eyes without hesitation. But if a human being does so, the act will be considered a public nuisance and the person will be criminally prosecuted. Therefore, for the human being, there are some rules and regulations, even for fulfilling common demands. The human society avoids such rules and regulations when it is bewildered by the influence of the age of Kali. In this age, people are indulging in such necessities of life without following the rules and regulations. And this deterioration of social and moral rules is certainly lamentable because of the harmful effects of such beastly behavior. In this age, the fathers and the guardians are not happy with the behavior of their wards. They should know that so many innocent children are victims of bad association awarded by the influence of this age of Kali. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam that Ajamil, an innocent son of a Brahmana, was walking down a road and saw a Shudra pair sexually embracing. This attracted the boy, and later on, the boy became a victim of all debaucheries. From a pure Brahmana, he fell down to a position of a wretched urchin. And it was all due to bad association. There was but one victim like Ajamil in those days. But in this age of Kali, the poor innocent students are daily victims of cinemas which attract men only for sex indulgence. The so-called administrators are all untrained in the affairs of a Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas are meant for administration, as the Brahmanas are meant for knowledge and guidance. The word Kshatrabandhu refers to the so-called administrators or persons promoted to the post of the administrator without proper training by culture and tradition. Nowadays, they are promoted to such exalted posts by the boards of the people who are themselves fallen in the rules and regulations of life, who are themselves fallen in the rules and regulations of life. How can such people select a proper man when they are themselves fallen in the standard of life? Therefore, by the influence of the age of Kali, everywhere, politically, socially, or religiously, everything is topsy-turvy. And therefore, for the sane man, it is all regrettable. Yeah. So it's a very instructive verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. As we know, the conversation is going on between Dharma in the form of bull and Mother Earth in the form of a cow. So by seeing the mother cow's very distressed situation, Dharma was talking to her. And he was saying, so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali. Understand that age of Kali began when Lord Krishna left this world, right? 5,000 years ago. But yes, so Kali Yuga began when Lord Shri Krishna left this material world. So it's just 5,000 years age influenced by the influence of the age of Kali, and thus the state affairs into thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. The so-called administrators. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc. And they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? And that's a fact, although Dharmaraj, in the form of bull, kind of asking for what reason you are so unhappy and crying, weeping. So some of the things mentioned here, due to the influence of age of Kali, everyone's life has become very difficult in so many ways. As we know, in our scriptures, in Manu Samhita especially, or in the Vedic literatures also, for the human beings, so many rules and regulations are there for our benefit. Like Bhagavad Gita also give us the understanding how to live life in this material world. Doing our duties properly, and at the same time becoming eligible for going back to the spiritual world by worshipping the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, with our own duties, our activities, by being surrendered unto the Supreme Lord. We can live here very happily. And at the end of the life, we will be eligible for going back to Godhead. And human life is very valuable, very important life. Human life is the best form of life out of 8.4 million forms of life. We may say demigods' lives or forms are better than human. Yeah, but the facilities are not. The humans can go back to the spiritual world by performing Nama Sankirtanam. But the the demigods, they are so much busy relishing their good fortune, right? Enjoying sense gratifications. They don't have the inclination for developing pure loving relationship with Krishna. It's not possible. Here also we see people who are surrounded by opulences, good situation, good family, friends, and have so much followers. They hardly desire to have loving relationship with Krishna. Here we see that sample. So it happens in the upper planetary systems. Lower planetary systems or hell, too much sufferings are also there. So it is also not proper situation for developing our loving relationship with Krishna. Also, in every respect, human life is very special, very unique, and it has very unique purpose also. Purpose is, this is the chance, this human body gives us the chance to get out of the vicious cycle of birth and death, repeated birth and death, along with the innumerable sufferings. By developing our loving relationship with the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, we can go to the spiritual world, go back to the spiritual world. This opportunity is available for everyone. I mean to say for each human being. So, along with that, through the scriptures, so many rules and regulations are also there, come in our lives for our benefit. It helps. All sorts of rules, discipline, regulations help us to become more focused on the goal of life. So dharma, religion in the form of bull, is saying, means understanding the root cause of the problems in the society, human society, the influence of the time of age of Kali. And now we also say that because of this, Kali Yuga, day by day, hardships are increasing. And we also we are experiencing that. It's a fact. But Kali Yuga has one most wonderful quality that we also should not forget. We must appreciate that quality. What is that? Kalo, Nidhi Rajan, Asti Kalo Doshe Nidhi Rajan, Asti Ek Mahan Guna, Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. Although Kali Yuga is the ocean of faults, but still it has great quality. That is that if we take shelter of Shri Krishna's holy name, Krishna's holy names, and perform Sankirtan, Nama Sankirtan, congregational chanting of Krishna's names, holy names, and also as a japa, developing our relationship with Krishna, being surrendered unto the Lord Krishna, we can become free from all contaminations that are binding us here and become eligible for going back home, back to Godhead by performing Nama Sankirtana. We become qualified to go back home, back to God. So as a human being, we should appreciate this every day. We should glorify this quality and we should take full advantage of this favorable situation by not being very well overwhelmed by the problems in this age. As a devotees also, we become so much caught up or overwhelmed by our daily struggle or difficulties or problems in our sadhana or in our lives also. But we should not be overwhelmed. We should accept the solution part, not the problem part. Which side we should be in the we should be in the side of the solution. The more we accept the solution part and apply the solution in our lives, then we can go through the difficult situations. So here are some of the things we are hearing, that human life should have a very disciplined life. We have to set a timetable, what time we should wake up, what should we eat, how to eat, when to eat, etc. Because bodily necessities are there. We have to also take care of that, but not whimsically. We should conduct our life. For example, eating thing, according to Ayurvedic treatment, means medical system, we should eat very sattvic food, and also should not overeat, or we should not eat in between meals, because those things give trouble to the body, the digestive system. So in this way, we understand, by this example, we understand all our activities should be very regulated. And that saves our time and energy. We need our time and energy for pursuing our spiritual life. We have to have some peaceful time, peaceful mind, so we can study the scriptures, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely, and cultivate Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada gave us one example about Ajamil. Ajamil saw a scene where the Shudra pairs were sexually embracing each other. That just one scene changed his whole life. Immediately he became, he fell down, he became fallen from the standard of Brahminical culture. So how it happens, see, how to protect us. Now we are discussing about the solution part. We are also seeing these things. We should not think that we are not being affected. We are being affected. This as a human society, I mean to say. People go to the cinema or see so many advertisements or pictures. Those pictures come to our heart through the doors of eyes. So two senses, the eyes and the ears, eye and ears must be guarded by everyone, us. Because the senses, what are the senses doing? The senses are the outlets or doors through which the outside world's knowledge and the picture enter into the heart. Then it goes to the mind. Heart means mind. And then we become occupied with those, right? So hearing and seeing, vision, these two senses must be disciplined or controlled. Otherwise, as devotees also, we will be victim of the contaminations of Kali Yuga. People do not have any shame now, any regulation, any prohibition. They just follow their minds. Whatever mind says, they just do it. Thus, they are increasing their duration within the existence of the material existence in the material world. Why we should be so serious about what we see and what we hear? These two things. Why? Because it takes away the mind from our goal of life. Means our attention, instead of our attention to Krishna, our attention will go to this world. And see also how by seeing so many different sceneries, those things go into the mind and they are stored in the mind. Later on, we think about it. So the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam gives us very systematic and precise process how to utilize the mind to get out of the problems of life and attain the final goal of life. That means being eligible for going back home, back to Godhead. Everything is being stored in the mind through the senses. The outside world's information goes inside and stored in the mind. So if we let our mind to be focused on Krishna, then we have to give ourselves to the process. What is the process? Krishna also said that manmana bhava, madbhakta. Manmana bhava, always think of me. Solution part I'm saying now. Problem part we already understand. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna again and again said about this. How to utilize the mind properly, very precisely, to achieve the goal of life. So he says, manmana bhava. He says, machitta satatam bhava. Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. This verse is very wonderful. Krishna speaking how to achieve him. Krishna is always attainable, but there's a process how to attain him. Process is ananya cheta satatam. Always thinking of me without deviation. Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha. Always thinking within the mind, within the heart. Always thinking of Krishna. Tasyaham sulabha partha. He is easily available or attainable because they are properly connected in yoga with me. Also, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nitya viyuktanam yogakshemam bahamyam. Who is always thinking of me one-pointed, without any deviation. Again, Ananyas chintayanto mam. Without any deviation. Only one-pointed attention. With one-pointed attention, always if we go on thinking of Krishna, then Krishna takes charge of our life. He carries what we lack and he protects what we have. So we have to have very simple heart to trust Krishna and accept the principle of Krishna consciousness. Also Krishna says, Mayeva mana adhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivashyaseshi mayeva ata udham na samshaya. Engage your mind and intelligence in me. Mind and intelligence together. They go together actually. Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashasya si mayyeva ata udvam na samsaya. If you do that, you always live in me. And there's no doubt about you would come to me. So Krishna is giving us the process. The mind is the actual asset we have to attach Krishna. And by that, we can get out of the problems of life. So for that reason, we do so many devotional practice or service. Like there are 9 kinds of devotional service, like hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Satyam, Atma Nivedanam. For everything we do for one purpose, to have attachment to Krishna, right? So I have some verses here to share with you. Kapil Muni also spoke about this yoga, Bhakti Yoga.
Mataji, you want to share on Vedabase?
Yes, giving you the number.
Yeah, please.
Canto 3 and chapter 28, text 34. Canto 3.
Chapter 28, Mataji?
Chapter 28.
Okay.
Text 34. Very wonderful. 34. Yes. The translation is this. By following this course, the yogi gradually develops pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hair on his body stand erect through excessive joy, and he is constantly bathed in a stream of tears occasioned by intense love. Gradually, even the mind, which is used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts a fish to a hook, withdraws from material activities. Means the mind which is now engaged in the external world, apart from our duties, we also use our mind in so many ways. We shouldn't do it. Then withdraw the mind from external engagement and bring internal, means inward, inside, and then connect the mind with Lord. Just like as one attracts the fish to a hook, means we can attract the Lord by using our mind. That means the chintan, or by thinking. Mind should be always on Krishna. Generally in Grihastha life or Vanaprastha life also to some extent, our mind is always on something else. Of course, we are also practicing Krishna consciousness, means connecting our consciousness to Krishna. Still, lots of hours we waste by thinking of unnecessary things like worry, anxiety. So many things are there. Means our families are always on our mind. Our problems are always on our mind. Instead of that, Krishna should be always in our mind. That's the solution. That's the solution. We may say that we have to take care of so many things. Yes. How to do it? We must plan and take care of our problems. But at the same time, also we must accept Krishna's plan. Means doing everything by understanding. If Krishna allows to have it, then we can have it. Means success or failure means success. If it is not successful, then we have to understand it was not in Krishna's plan. This is a great science, to have peaceful mind. Peaceful mind means the mind can be attached to Krishna easily. If the mind is not peaceful, disturbed, then we cannot attach. Because in Kali Yuga, by attaching our mind through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra or Nama Sankirtanam, we can achieve the highest goal of life. That's why these things are being discussed. Kalor doshe nidhe rajan, asti ek mahan guna, kirtanad eva krishnasya, mukta sangha param bhajet. Means by nama sankirtanam, kirtanad eva krishnasya. Sankirtan means also japa. Japa is included within the Sankirtan category or Kirtan category. Sankirtan means Sammak Rupena Kirtanam. Complete glorification is known as Sankirtanam. Kirtanam means glorification of the Supreme Lord. Complete glorification of the Supreme Lord is possible by congregational chanting. So that's why to take full advantage of the Kali Yuga, we have to engage ourselves in Nam Japa or Nam Sankirtana. And for that, mind is required to be attached to the holy name or to the remembering of Krishna's pastimes, like that, Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. So here's the point. This one, I selected this one, means it's a gradual process. The yogi, in pure love, they become progressively attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. In the beginning, mind has to be forced to think of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, meditate on Krishna, like that. Gradually, it becomes normal, or it becomes spontaneous. Then we don't have to force us. Sometimes, the devotees ask, mind is very restless. How can we fix our mind on Krishna, concentrate on our mind on Krishna? And mind goes here and there, means especially for what? What reason goes here and there? For sense enjoyment, nothing else. For when we have material desires, then the mind is disturbed if those desires are not being fulfilled. That's why mind goes here and there. So with the transcendental knowledge, we know material desires or desire for sense enjoyment, they are detrimental for our spiritual life. So we should try to minimize it gradually. It's not good. It's like poison. If someone gives me a cup of poison and they said that drink it, I would not drink it, because I know by understanding that this is poison and it will kill me, I will not drink it. Similarly, having material desires, having so many unnecessary thoughts in the mind, when we allow to be in, means drinking poison knowingly, and it will hamper our spiritual life. That's why the point is that, and 35 is beautiful. 35 we will read a little bit, the purport portion, beautiful. When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from the material objectives, it is just like the flame of a lamp. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord, and is experienced as one with him, because it is freed from the interactive flow of the material qualities. Beautiful point here. when the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination means lust, desire, material desires, lust, anger, greed, madness, envy. These are kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, illusion. These are the contamination, desire for name and fame, desire to become very prominent. These are the contaminations, right? When these are, because as we are progressing in spiritual life, our consciousness is transformed to become more and more favorable to Krishna. Consciousness means our attitude become very favorable attitude toward Krishna. Our attitude, inclination becomes more and more attractive for pure devotional service, right? And a devotee starts thinking that so long I have not done anything nice for Krishna, I have not done anything wonderful for Krishna. What for I'm maintaining my life? How can I do something very sweet for Krishna? These kind of thoughts come. How can I be useful in Krishna's service? How can I make my life very successful in Krishna's service? These kind of thoughts come. So and detached from material objective, it is just like the flame of a lamp, means very steadily the flame is now burning. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord. So ultimate goal is dovetailing the mind with the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the real solution of all sorts of problems within this Kali Yuga. Actually, it is the solution for every yuga, especially it is for the Kali Yuga. Dovetailing the mind with the desire of supremeness, a Supreme Lord. Thus, there's a oneness. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is speaking, when the mind is completely purified in love of Godhead, the mind becomes the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mind at that time does not act separately, nor does it act without inspiration to fulfill the desire of the Lord. It's a very beautiful point. When we dovetail the mind with the Supreme Lord, then our mind becomes Krishna's mind. Actually, we are parts and parcels of Krishna, means our consciousness is the part of Krishna's consciousness. Mind is the part of Krishna's mind. Our existence is part of Krishna's existence, right? It's the extension of Krishna's existence, expansion of Krishna's existence. So, as we know that our relationship with Krishna is inconceivably, oneness is there and difference. So we must achieve the oneness also with Supreme Lord. Generally, we stress about the differences. Krishna is supreme and the servant. Also, there's oneness. This oneness we achieve when our mind becomes Krishna's mind. Later on, we are seeing then Krishna takes over takes full charge of the body of the devotee and mind of the devotee, life of the devotee, and he conducts the devotees according to his own plan, as devotees are agreeing with the plans of Krishna. This is the point. So the individual liberated soul has no other activity in this world. In the conditioned state of mind is always engaged in activity impelled by the three modes of the material nature, material world. But in the transcendental stage, the material modes cannot disturb the mind of the devotee. The devotee has no other concern than to satisfy the desire of the Supreme Lord. This is the highest stage of perfection called nirvana. So another verse, that is 36. Okay, 36. Thus situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and distress. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He discovers the pleasure and pain as well as their interactions, which
Hare Krishna Mataji.
36. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, in the middle it got little disconnected. Now we can hear.
Oh, I see. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport of 36, when the mind is dovetailed to act according to the desire of the Lord, one has attained the transcendental stage. The desire to lord it over material nature is the cause of ignorance. And when that desire is completely extinguished and the desires are dovetailed with those of the Supreme Lord, one has reached the perfectional stage. That much I wanted to share with all of you. Means, as we are understanding, we are parts and parcels of Krishna. We are duty bound to serve the Lord, our origin, right? Our whole. We are parts and He is whole, right? How to become completely means it is also one kind of merged with the Lord's desire. Merging also there in the devotee's life, in our spiritual life or Krishna consciousness. What is that merging? Means merging the mind, dovetailing the mind with the desire of the Lord. That is the meaning of dovetailing the mind with Supreme Lord, or dovetailing ourselves with the Supreme Lord. The mind also means consciousness, to be linked up. And we should not discontinue this, always remain attached or merged, right? So that's the perfectional stage of life. And we must achieve that stage before leaving the body. We should be very accustomed with this, completely absorbed, achieving the complete absorption in Krishna, or dovetailing our mind with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Because there's a real fight is this, right? We don't want to accept Krishna's plan or Krishna's desire. We feel our desire should be fulfilled. Then we'll be happy. But it is not the case. When we accept Krishna's desire, then we will be happy. Today's verse was like that. So-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of the age of Kali. So influence of the age of Kali is this. But we can become free from the influence of the age of Kali by accepting Krishna consciousness wholeheartedly, fully. That was the point I tried to make today about discussing about the solution. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. I think we should have some time for any discussion or any question or comments.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very, very wonderful class. Yeah, you mentioned very important points about giving us the solution, and quoting from the third canto verses. Srila Prabhupada such beautifully gave the purports, like, as you said, we have to dovetail our mind towards Krishna's desire. So that's very hard part, Mataji. But through practice and conscious practice, I think we'll be able to achieve that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead and please turn on your cameras if possible, so that Mataji can have you all darshan and association. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Mataji, Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Srimati. Dear Savitri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Please
glories
accept
to
me.
Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Gurudevs. Thank you for a wonderful class today. Speaking on so many different important points, the importance of the holy name, importance of remembering Krishna, the importance of following rules and regulations so that our life is better than that of animals. All these things are so important for us to hear in the age of Kali. My question to you is, you also quoted one very beautiful verse, Ananya Chetasaha. Always remember Krishna, that verse in Bhagavad Gita. I would like to read that verse again. Would you kindly tell me where it is? That's one. And how, yes, and how we can remember Krishna even when we are facing difficulties, because mind gets so bewildered. Mind gets overwhelmed by that the problems. Material energy has so much power to bewilder us, to confuse us, to put us in anxiety, to throw us off track, distract us from services, and so on. So how we can overcome this attack, let's say, by Maya? Thank you.
Yeah. Ananya Cheta Satatam, this text is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8. Attaining the Supreme. The chapter 8 is known as Attaining the Supreme. Whole chapter Krishna spoke about how to attain him. So in that chapter he says, with the mind is the tool. Mind is the actual tool. The verse is beautiful in the Bhagavad Gita.
Is it
Prabhupada quoted.
8.14, Mataji?
Yes. Mind is the cause of our bondage, and mind is the cause of our liberation. I have to understand. This is the point. If mind is deviated from Krishna and attached to any material thing, that causes the bondage. Mind is the cause of our bondage. Mind is the cause of our liberation. Same one mind. Like the key of a lock, if you turn the key towards right, lock will open. If you turn the key on the left, lock will be closed. Same key. So if the mind is attached to Krishna, life is liberated. Mind is attached to other things like problems, other things, we are bound. These things are binding us. So when we are properly educated, how we are being bound. Bound means how do you feel that I'm bound by my karma? Through the distresses, isn't it? If the distresses, problems causing us very distressful, that is the bondage. We feel immediately, I'm bound here. We don't like it. We don't want it. But still it is forced upon us. This is the punishment. Our mind is giving us, 3 ways we are getting suffering, right? Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. So these are the punishments. Why these punishments are coming to me? Because I've been bound up. Why? What caused me this bondage? My mind. Through the mind, I got this situation. Mind was attached to so many things. Means material, means not, mind was not attached to Krishna. This attachment means whole attachment. So this is the situation. Why am now in this situation? These difficulties, problems, sufferings to the mind, because of the body, because of the other living beings, because of the natural calamities, right? It's going on. Who caused this? Mind. Mind is the cause of our bondage. Mind is the cause of our liberation. But the same mind, when it is attached to Krishna, Ananya Cheta Satatam, Yomam Smarati Nityashaha. through remembrance of Krishna, then it becomes a cause of our liberation from miseries. Question was how to achieve that. That's the practice. By understanding that if the mind runs away somewhere, that is the meaning that now my suffering will be there definitely. I'm increasing my suffering here by letting the mind go here and there. So we must think, plan, do duties as much as needed, mind's involvement. And rest of the time, again, bring back the mind to the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna also gave us the example in second chapter as a tortoise, right? Tortoise or tortoise. Tortoise, Krishna says, when it needs something, it sticks out the limbs outside and works on with the limbs, right? And when it is done, retracts inside, right? Withdraws inside. So mind should be like that. And we should understand that our problems cannot be tackled without the help of Krishna. So at the same time, let the mind be surrendered to Krishna. Oh Krishna, please help me. I'm yours and you are mine. We must give ourselves to Krishna. That is the dovetailing the mind to Krishna, means surrendering the mind and intelligence to Krishna. These are mind, where from this mind came? From Krishna's mind, isn't it? But now I have the feeling that I have independent mind. I can do anything with my mind. Means let my mind to go anywhere, think anything, collect anything, store anything, like that. Accept anything, reject anything. Whimsical. Mind is like the monkey. Unless we understand the science of mind and science of how to become liberated from the problems, is very difficult. But when you are educated, mind is going somewhere unnecessarily, that means drinking the poison knowingly. Hori hori bifale janama kuvain. Manusya janama paiya Radha Krishna na bhujiya janiya shuniya bishop khainu. Oh my Lord, this human life is rarely achieved. And I have achieved this human life. And I have not worshipped Shri Radha Krishna. And I'm knowingly drinking the poison to kill myself. That means letting the mind go anywhere and everywhere. And more than necessary, keeping the mind on something like problems. Problems are always on our mind. This is not Krishna consciousness. Instead of that, Krishna should be always in our mind. That's a matter of practice. These problems cannot be solved by us. It is impossible without the mercy of Krishna. As to attract the mercy of Krishna, again, we have to use this mind. So gradually, with the full understanding, we have to engage the mind in Krishna's service, obtaining, accepting Krishna's plans, praying always, surrendering the mind and intelligence, the life, consciousness, everything, whatever is there in the body, everything I'm just offering you. I forgot to read that part when mind is completely dovetailed with Krishna. Krishna becomes so happy. He takes full charge of the devotee, his body, devotee's body, senses, mind, life. He takes full charge. Then devotee becomes completely free from anxiety. And let Krishna do whatever Krishna desires. There's no fight against Krishna. Otherwise, we fight against Krishna. Although by fighting against Krishna's will, we are exhausted and tired, actually. We feel that in our life. that I'm really, really tired. I'm exhausted. I cannot fight anymore. I have to let go. I have to let go. I have to let go of everything. Let Krishna decide now. Let Krishna inspire me from within to how to act. So mind should be always attached to Krishna. This is Krishna's system or point. Okay? Devi Mataji, all right? Is it all right?
Yes, yes, very nice.
With-
Thank you very much. Appreciate
With the
very
Devotees
much.
Association, by being fully aware, this mind goes anywhere more than necessary. I'm in trouble. I'm creating trouble. I'm generating my karma. Mind is the cause of our bondage. Mind is the cause of our liberation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for explaining such in detail. Yeah, it's very hard to dovetail into Krishna, towards Krishna. As you said, it is full of always thoughts and desires and going here and there. Yeah, definitely have to control the mind and put into Krishna consciousness. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, actually, control is impossible, but
Yeah.
shifting is possible.
Shifting it.
From
Yeah.
here to there.
Mm.
Attachment from here, withdraw this attachment and place it at
Yeah.
the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes.
Mataji, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Devotees, any more questions or comments? Yeah, I don't see any questions, Mataji.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much once again. Such a nice solution and nicely explaining, quoting the verses. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Request
Thank
you to
you
come
for giving
again
me
and
the chance.
again on our call to give class for all of us. And on behalf of everyone, I'll offer my obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha. Anam bhavebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Good
Mataji.
night.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Mataji.